Hello and welcome to Bosch Professional Live UK. It's Wednesday, it's 4 PM, and I'm Chris Murray.
And I'm Danny Parks.
So we've decided to do something slightly different today. Normally we'll be doing a live stream based on a range of products. However,
this week, me and Chris have had a bit of a discussion. We think this is the perfect opportunity to do a tour of our workshops here. So it gives you an idea of the facilities that we offer here at Denham.
now, like all live streams, feel free to pop your questions at us. However, because Danny and I won't be able to answer your questions live on camera, instead our behind the scenes team, who we'll show you in a minute, will answer those in the chat. And then after the stream, me and Danny will answer any leftover in the comments. So first things first, see you later, Dan.
See you later.
Off we go. So as you can see, this is our set, our studio, but a live stream wouldn't work if it didn't have the brains. The brains of the live stream are here on the desk here, where we have Nat and Lizzie, and obviously Rob behind the camera there. They're the ones that make sure that all the questions that you ask get to us, make sure that me and Danny look and sound good, and more importantly, when things go wrong, they get the blame. So let's go to the first workshop. The first workshop is actually going to be our stone and metal working room. This room actually used to be our MT classroom, but because me and Danny are virtual trainers, we wanted to make sure we had a dedicated studio. So that's what we've got, with the idea that we're going to expand it. So here we are. We're now at the wood and metal room. Let's go have a look inside. Did I say wood room? Of course not. This is obviously the metal and concrete room. And as you can see, we've got our Bosch hammers. The entire range of our Bosch hammers, both corded and cordless. Now, if you caught the last live stream, we talked about the fact that we've got over 90 years worth of Bosch hammer experience, starting off with our first machine, which was in 1932, our first Bosch hammer. So what you can see here is we've got obviously our 18-volt range machines here, classic cool pack batteries all the way up to the 26, delivering 2.6 joules of impact pneumatic energy. And we've got our bi-turbo brushless 18-volt rotary hammers all the way up to the max, the GBH 18V-45C, delivering up to 12.5 joules of pneumatic energy. That 18-volt machine is just as powerful as our corded variant here, GBH 845D and DV 8 kilo hammers. So you can see now with our hammer range, we've got cordless machines that are just as powerful as our corded machines. Now, moving along, we've got our COMBI range. Now, what we've done recently, we've completely updated the range. So now we have a brushless COMBI all the way from the entry level all the way up to our flagship range. We start off here with our new machine, the GSB 18V-45. This is our entry level brushless machine, 45 Newton meters of torque. And a machine you might already be familiar with. If not, you should check it out on the streams and any of our video content. My personal favorite, the GSB 18V-150C, our bi-turbo brushless flagship COMBI, probably still the most powerful in the market at 150 Newton meters of torque. Now, important to note when we're talking about the bi-turbo brushless machine, the COMBI, the STS Max and Plus hammers, that if you're going to run a bi-turbo brushless machine, we thoroughly recommend you run, first off, a ProCORE 18-volt battery, but it should be a 5.5, an 8 or a 12 amp hour battery. And when you move up to the really big STS Max hammers, we really recommend running the 12 amp hour batteries. You get a lot of runtime, especially when you're running machines that deliver so much power, like that 12.5 joules of energy. What else have we got on this wall? We've got our entire range of impact wrenches, okay? So we've got things like the GDSs and the unique to Bosch, the GDXs. So this is our hybrid. This is running a 1/4 inch internal hex and the 1/2 inch sockets. These are great machines, all the way up to the top end one, which is the GDX 18V-210C. However, it doesn't just stop there. We also have a bi-turbo brushless impact wrench going all the way up to 1050 Newton meters of torque. Excellent machine, a lot of power.
Right, so I'll take over from you there, Chris. Basically, here we've got our range of metal sawing machines. Also be used for wood. It's not a problem. It's quite capable of doing most things when it comes to cutting. We'll start off here with the two corded products. We've got the GSA 1100E corded product, quite a basic one, that one. 1100 watts, plenty power for cutting most materials. We've also got an uprated version of that to a 1300 watt product. So that's this one just here. So that's a nice product to hold. It's quite low vibration, that one as well. Different design of gearbox to the original 1100 there. So we actually covered a live stream about reciprocating saws not that long ago. So we covered most of these items anyway, but I have a quick brief view through what we have here for our cordless range. We have the 12 volt version, the VLI, which is the original 18 volt version that the 12 volt was based upon. We also have the GSA 18 VLI, which we have a new product coming very soon for that. I shall show you that in a moment. And our flagship one at the top there, the GSA 18V-32. Again, really low vibration for that particular product there. The design of which is revolutionary when it comes to sabre saws. So really low vibration for that non-linear blade movement. This is the actual our new BITURBO version that we mentioned on the live stream as well. So definitely up the power on this one. Pendulum action, same as our GSA 18V-32. Really nice tool holder. A lot of blade-free movement, removable blades from there. So, or hands-free, should I say. Right, so from there we'll move down to a few more of the cutting machines. We have a bandsaw. We also covered that in our metalworking live stream, I believe. Good throat cut there, plenty of depth for cutting larger materials, perfect for cutting or flush cutting copper pipe, plastic pipe, even steel pipe. Really good quality blades with those as well, so they do last very well. Take up with a little, can take a little bit of punishment if you were to push things through, but obviously, yeah, they're a cracking machine, specifically designed for a specific purpose. But if that's the sort of thing that you need, perfect product for you there. I'll also go down and this one's here we haven't actually covered in the live streams. Now this is the GUS, the GUS 12V-300. Now this is a carpet tile cutter or carpet cutter. Lino, pretty much any flexible material this will cut. It also has a self-sharpening blade here, so there's a little tiny plate there that sharpens the back surface of the blade during use. So these blades last ages. So carpet fitters, this is a perfect product for you. Really is real time saver. Save a fortune on Stanley blades. Brilliant product there. Again, throughout the metalworking live stream that we did a little while back, we discussed the older versions of the shear and the nibbler. So we've got those two here on the shelf. And right next to it here, this is the old version, waiting to be replaced with the new version of the metal cutting saw. So again, something we discussed on our recent metalworking live stream.
I love that tool.
He really does. He's constantly talking about it. Right, below here we've got a few of the dust solutions for grinders. So quite often this is mentioned in the comments section for the live streams as well. You can see we cover a full range of dust extraction here, even down to the older machines at the bottom there. We've got a full range, all the way up to a 230mm machine there. So yeah, really quite a substantial range of dust extraction units for those as well. Coming over to the right here, we have the drywall collated screw gun. This is something that we've brought a new one out. This is, I think, is the older one we have on here at the moment, but the new version is over on our new wall, which we'll cover very shortly. We've also got the rivet gun here as well, so a fantastic little addition to our range, something we haven't actually offered before, so a fantastic opportunity to get into the metalworking range again with us. Right, this is one heck of a wall to be talking about, because these two meters here are quite full of products. I mean, anyone who knows Bosch knows that we do a vast range of grinders. So going everywhere from our straight grinders at the bottom here, with X-lock variants and M14 attachment variants aplenty here in the entire range. So you're going from at the top here, we've got our entry-level machines, our entry-level M14, our entry-level X-lock machine, all the way through to our equivalent 800 watt machines and our 1000 watt machines up the top here with our BITURBO ones. So again, you've got a choice between various levels of power, various features and functions, and various attachments. So really there's plenty of machines to choose from. It allows you to tailor the machine that you're purchasing exactly for the job that you actually want to do. Again, we'll skip quite quickly past the corded ones. Again, those variants are still available in corded versions as well. So if you're not willing to or able to move into the 18 volt platform just yet, a lot of the X-lock functionality and a lot of the speed control functionality is also available on the corded products as well. So fantastic opportunity to step up with more tech without going for the full battery platform if you don't necessarily require it as yet. If we pop back to, you've got the X-lock one here. So we covered X-Lock before, but it's always worth showing it again. So it's as simple as that. Just to pop the disc on and then pop the disc back on and get off again. Really simple. Plus the fact you can't flip the wrong way round. So another good opportunity, another safety feature there to prevent you from potentially hurting yourself or others in the workplace. There you go. I know you like talking about that one, don't you?
I do love X-Lock.
He loves it. Right, so we've got some straight grinders at the bottom here as well. We covered that again with the in the live stream, the metalworking live stream. We didn't talk so much about the corded side of things, but there are corded variants of the ones that we spoke about in the live stream anyway. So we've got quite an array there. This is quite an interesting one. A lot of you upholsterers out there will probably know that these exist, but this is a foam cutter that we developed. It has a reciprocating blade that comes out the bottom here. Two reciprocating blades, in fact. They work like, how you say it, like a turkey carver, electric turkey carver that you would use. But they're designed specifically at different lengths to use on different thicknesses of foam material. So perfect for either manufacture of soft furnishings or renovation of soft furnishings. So really quite a popular product there. They last for ages as well. They've got a precision made gearbox. It's really smooth. And then finally, our third meter here of grinders shows our large angle grinder range. So we've got everything from 180mm large angle grinder down the bottom here, all the way up to the 34mm up the top there. So is that 34? That's 24mm, sorry, I couldn't read it from there. Fantastic machine, rotatable handle, much easier to use. Plenty of power for most cutting applications, and a fantastic range of blades as well. So plenty of different options for you to choose from just there. At the bottom here we've got the old GPO 14CE. This is our polishing machine. Some might say that maybe we need to update it. I don't see any reason why we need to. It's a fantastic machine. It does exactly the job you want. Precision made gears, smooth operation, and fantastic speed control on that as well. So quite happily sitting in our range. If it isn't broke, you don't need to fix it. Just under that we've got a concrete polishing grinder there as well, but I believe that's probably on the way out, that one. But it will be replaced with a newer, better model.
Well, I'm going to come and save you because you've done 4 meters.
I have.
4 meters in a row there. I do feel sorry for you. We have such a range of angle grinders.
It's quite competitive,
Crazy.
Isn't it?
Well, you can help me with this because we're going to talk about lights. We've got quite a modest range of GLIs, and GLIs are what we call our lighting system, all the way from the small 12-volt systems with the GLI 12V-300, 300 lumens, and then we've got the other machines like the GLI 18, which is 1200, 2200, 1900. So there's a lot of choices out there in the market.
My favourite's got to be the GLI 18V 10,000. So you're looking at 10,000 lumens or something like that.
That's an incredible amount of light.
We've seen some images from around the world, them using them in tunnels to light tunnels, and that's during the actual construction of motorway tunnels, and it's more than capable of lighting a full section of a motorway tunnel. It's a fantastic bit of kit.
Right, so the wall that normally gets the most interest is going to be the new wall. Now, actually, the products on here you might have already seen because we've discussed them already on previous live streams throughout the year. We'll have a number of machines here that you might not know already, but the drywall cutout tool, that hasn't launched yet. I think we might not have even discussed that yet.
I don't think we have, no.
No, but we have talked about the new 7-inch 18-volt BITURBO angle grinder that cuts just as deep as a large angle grinder, over 61mm of cutting depth on this, but running a 7.5-inch blade. Excellent machine. We've got another machine that hasn't come out yet, but it will be coming out soon, which is our new 18-volt hammer, 24C. That's going to probably replace some of our lower entry-level 18-volt hammers, such as the GBH 18V-, I don't know, maybe it sits between the 21 and the 26, so it's perfect for those people that don't need, or they want something in the middle between the two. We talked about the sanders. We have talked about one of these impact drivers, or maybe the second one as well. We've got a new impact wrench, coming out, which is going to be the GDS 18V-330, I believe.
It's 330. I believe this one is labelled as a 320. Yep, but this is the American version that we've had come through. So yeah, not even available yet in the UK. But we have one here as a marketing sample. Fantastically, really comfortable machine to hold, and a full metal gearbox, full metal internals. Fantastic amount of impact energy there in such a small package.
Now, I think you made you made a comment about the fact that now we've obviously got our new shear and new nibbler within 18 volts. So these are now the updated versions, one you saw on the wall. These are now brushless, and they've got a thinner grip in line with how we make our angle grinder housing. So everything's nice and comfortable. What else we got?
Not that the bad ones were comfortable to hold.
No, not at all.
These ones are far more comfortable than the other ones.
Exactly. So. We talked about some of the new combis. Obviously the GSR and GSB 18V-45, which is now launched. And we've got a new mid-range combi that's virtually out in the market now, which is the new 90. So that's the GSB and the GSR 18V-90C. That's a really good mid-range combi. Yeah. We've talked about some of these machines already in the woodworking live stream. So we've got the new GST. So this one is the new the 155 or the 155mm depth of cut. And we've got the two versions of these that are out in market. If once stock has stabilized, these are going to be fully available. And a machine that hasn't come out yet, but I think again we also discussed that in one of our woodworking live streams. We've got the new GST 18V-125 or 125, and this is the bow handle. We're also going to have a barrel grip. I'm really looking forward to these. These are both updates to the previous machines, but now they're now all brushless jigsaws, which is excellent.
So smooth to operate as well. Really nice sounding machines.
Here it is, one of my favourite machines. The new GKM. So this is the GKM 18V-50. The one that Dan showed you on the wall was the previous version. This one's just better.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
There's a few revisions taken place between the last one, all of them positive. Absolutely fantastic machine to use. Both of us are quite shocked at the size of the material that it will cut pretty much effortlessly.
Yeah, and more importantly, relatively, I say relatively, pretty much vibration free and almost spark free.
Yeah, so again, you can actually use one of those on majority of job sites without needing a hot license. So again, opens up another use for the machine, time saving, and also a little bit of red tape saving there as well. I love this machine. Yeah. I've used this recently in a couple of video shoots that we've done. It's one of I think my perfect part of this machine is actually on the other side. I think probably the boring side you consider. It's so short. The motor is so small, so petite there, and it just cuts down on the footprint or the size of the machine. It being fully brushless, it's such a smooth motor, lightweight machine, really comfortable to use. Good dust extraction.
Yes.
In fact, the cleaners have barely had to sweep up after us after we've been using that.
So we've taken the design from our BITURBO brushless machine with regards to the new guard and also the inline dust extraction. But it's a really good update from the original GKS 18V-57. So this is now the version 2, brushless, and now up to 5,000 RPM, which really chews through material beautifully. Yeah. Right. So we should go to the next wall. I think have we covered everything here?
Yeah. Bear in mind, this is constantly being updated, this wall. So as machines become available to purchase, these will move onto our main wall and be replaced, hopefully, by samples that we get through of new products. And as soon as we get them, we'll be letting you know on the live streams. Okay, so the next one we've got, now we've not done a live stream on our hand tools range, and I think that's probably overdue. So we'll probably do one in the new year because there's a wide range of tools that you guys probably don't know we actually create now. So we've got the usual typical range of screwdrivers, pliers, and all that kind of stuff. Obviously got our own hex keys and torque keys, tape measures, all the way up to a relatively sophisticated belt system, as well as a tote bag here. Ratchet spanners, and obviously levels. So there's a wide range of hand tools within the range, as well as some of the nylons, which is really good because those ratchet spanners super smooth. They're not, although it says here ratchet spanners, they actually work on a roller system. So there's no notchiness when it comes to operating it, and you can also operate over a smaller angle of movement. So fantastic bits of kit. I mean, I'm sold on them already. There's a couple of versions of those coming out. We currently do the black anodized version. But there's also a silver anodized version coming out soon as well. So cover both parts of the range there.
Great. So a power tool's no good unless you've got a good accessory, and obviously Bosch make a wide range of excellent, if anything, world-leading accessories. Now we've probably spoken many times about the Expert range, and you can see here's a good range of them. Well, a modest range. We've got so many that we couldn't fit them all in the workshops, even if we had enough space. Even if we took down all the tools, we wouldn't have enough room. But
I mean, this pretty much covers most of the applications we'd use during training. So basically this is here as an impress stock for us to use as we see fit, to be fair.
So remember guys out there, the packaging has changed to make it easier for you to understand what performance level you're getting. The blue stuff, or the blue packaging, or the accessories that are blue, that's your Expert accessories. That's going to be for hard materials and also for better cost per cut. So you're going to get accessories that last a lot longer, so you're getting your money's worth. We made it easy because some of the other packaging, now not all of this is up to date, but the packaging is changing as well for accessories. So you're going to have 3 different color levels. You're going to have white packaged accessories, that'll be your entry level, grey packaging for your mid-range. But more importantly, if you really want the best accessories with the best material, you should be looking at the blue packaged, blue expert accessories. These are using things like diamond and carbide, or they'll be using interesting innovative technology like our self-cut speed bits or our M480 net system for our sanders, which is excellent tech.
At some of the events we visit throughout the year, on some of them we give away free samples of the expert system and general expert accessories, especially some of the jigsaw blades and some of the other consumable material, shall we say, for power tool usage. If you're ever at one of the stands and we have any available, please take one, try it. Your mind will be blown, quite frankly, by the ability of some of these accessories. Not just for speed of use, but for longevity of a blade. I mean, the carbide system has really changed.
That's right. I mean,
changed the blade game completely.
Yeah. As an example, here's our grinding station, and me and Danny absolutely love getting trainees in and showing them the difference from standard bonded abrasive. Do I got an example here? No, I don't, but I do have the comparison what we use against. Yeah, when we're going to pit them up against bonded abrasive against our Prisma system. So this is for angle grinders, small angle grinders from 115 to 125 millimeters. This makes a huge difference when they're doing angle grinding. So we love letting people try the old system, I say old, the bonded abrasive system, let them swap up to the Prisma, even quicker with the X-Lock system, and it's almost as if you're wiping away the welds. It's so aggressive, it's so fast, and more importantly, it lasts for so long. Right, so you can see we've got some stations here. We've got obviously our concrete drilling, and we've got our aerated concrete here, a little charging bay. But here, just a little hint, we've obviously got our measuring tools, a small display for our measuring tools here. Here are all the handheld machines. So we've got our GLMs, our laser measures. We've got our crossline lasers and our COMBI lasers. We've got our wide range of detecting tools down here at the bottom. And then we've got some of the other machines, such as the thermal detectors and other detection tools. What we don't have on display here are our rotation lasers, which are usually out on the back for the training areas. Right, so I'm going to pop off for a second.
Great, no problem. Right, we're planning on doing some live streams in the future about this, so we're going to cover this. There's too many to do a tour on now. We'll rather split it up and go in more depth. So we're finished with the metal and concrete room. Now we're going to move on to the wood room. So this is where we keep all our carpentry products. So join me in here.
Oi, oi. So as you can see, Dan's probably already introduced, this is the wood room. So we've got plenty of tools that are obviously going to be wood and fixing related. So here I've got the GSR, so not the GSB, which is what we had next door, the GSR 18V-150C, our most powerful drill driver, and there's a whole bunch of drill drivers and other things on the range here. You might have also noticed that we've got plenty of green products, DIY products in the background. It's important to note that we obviously have a very wide DIY range, but they're obviously going to be designed for people that are, DIYers, home users, some enthusiasts, stuff like that. These are designed for occasional use, but not the heavy duty stuff like the blue professional power tools that we've been discussing today. So let's move on. Let's start having a look at some of our professional MITRE saws.
Right, so if you want to follow me down here, we've got first off here, we've got our 2 current range 8-inch MITRE saws. So these two, you've got single bevel and double bevel. We won't talk about them too much. They've been very well established in the market already. Fantastic area of cut, cross cut and ripping, both of which come with expert blades as well. So as you can see, majority of the machines in here, the blades that you see on them are the blades that you will get on them when you open the box. So 2 fantastic little machines there. These are both, these and the cordless versions are currently on GTA 3800s, which are the long saw stands. So these things are fantastic for all sorts of different applications. As you see, there's plenty of space on them to put 2 machines next to each other. So fantastically useful machines. So if we move up here, these 2 are the cordless versions. So we have the GCM 18V-216. Yes,
that's right. Now you've got the 216s. Basically, as Dan said already, they're the BITURBO brushless equivalent of the 2 first saws you saw, because they're all 8 inches here.
Yes.
So the 216 and the 216 DC.
Fantastic.
Because you've got your, this one came out first, so this is the first BITURBO brushless mitre saw we brought out. And then we brought out the double bevel, so now you can do either side nowadays.
Yeah, this one in fact on the left was one of our first ones we introduced on our first live stream we did.
That's right.
BITURBO live stream, so that was...
Yeah, so
seems
yeah,
like a long time ago now, doesn't it?
Exactly. So I mean, as we've covered a lot of the tools that you've already seen in the workshops today, and we did one almost primarily on the mitres, including this bad boy, and the table saw. But on that topic, this is my personal favourite when it comes to mitre saws. So this is our GCM 18V-305 GDC. This is a flagship. This is another BITURBO brushless machine. It's a 12-inch battery-powered mitre saw.
This really is a tour de force in the capabilities that we can get out of the ProCORE battery range and the BITURBO motor combination here. So you're looking at a 12-inch mitre saw, taking the technology, as we'll see a little bit later, from some of our more well-established machines that we've had on the market for quite some time.
Yeah, this is running the equivalent of 2,000 watts. So this is truly in the realm of cordless power.
Yes.
Well,
yeah.
Corded power, but cordless freedom. One thing, the most important thing obviously is the fact that it's the glide arm. So if you come over around this side, you can see this is the main thing that differentiates this saw from all our other sliding mitre saws, is this arm. Obviously the machine being bigger, but that's a big key factor. And as you can probably see, if that was up against the wall, that's nice and flush. So you can put this machine up against your workshop wall, you're not losing space for your workspace. Another thing about this machine, with the machines we saw here, most of the controls for adjusting bevel, for example, are going to be on the back. However, because this is a large machine, you don't want to be reaching around the back. You've got the ability here to change all the features, all the adjustments at the front here. So that's an example to do your bevel.
Pop the fence out of the way. Of course, actually we covered that in the live stream as well, because power's there to quite capably cut through the actual fence if you're not careful. So always remove that, always remember.
That's right.
There you go.
Right. And then you have all your other usual controls, like the ability to change your mitre. All the controls are at the front, as I said, making it nice and quick, nice and easy. So I really like using this machine every day in the workshop, even when we don't need the maximum depth of cut, which is pretty huge on this, because it's 120mm depth, 200 width, up to, if you put a spacer, it'll do up to 400. So even if we use this machine, even just for the little jobs around the workshop, because it's just absolutely a dream to use. It's so smooth.
That's it.
So, Danny, point out, let's show them where this got inspiration from the Glide system.
Right, so this is the GDC, which is the 12-inch predecessor, corded-wise, to the 305 that we've got over there. As you can see, that's got the glide arm as well. This was the first machine that came out with the glide arm. So yeah, you can see quite clearly where the design came from on that. There's exactly the same, in fact, cut dimensions on this machine as on the 305 BITURBO model.
Yeah, we got one of the main advantages of this is the fact that it's all sealed, isn't it, Danny? The fact that
all the bearings are sealed on there.
Producers are quite, when you're cutting, the dust extraction is as best as it could be for any kind of mitre. There's always a limitation, but the fact that it's all sealed means it's virtually maintenance free. You're not having to worry about getting dust and rust and all that kind of stuff in the system, which means that this stays nice and smooth for pretty much its entire life.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, that's been sat on that shelf since it came out originally. As you can see, doesn't come with a blue blade, because this machine quite clearly predates our expert range of blades. So
that's right.
That's the standard one that it would have come with. So yeah.
I can't remember when that machine came out, but when it first came out, it revolutionised how people look at large mitre saws. Yeah,
we also have some machines underneath the trolleys here, like the 635 216 table saw, the corded version of our BITURBO one. All exactly the same controls and functionality, but that's the corded version of that. So basically, we're going to come to the BITURBO table saw in a moment anyway. But yeah, some of the other machines that we've got under here are older models. We do tend to keep some of the older models around, mainly because for training sessions dealing with customers or people face to face who have older machines, it's always good to have an older machine there to reference for the customer. So it makes everything nice and clear for people. Great, so actually, having spoken about the table saw, we'll go around to see Chris round here with the.
Yeah. Well, I've got I've got the 18-volt one. This is the BITURBO one. You've talked about one of the corded one. This is basically the same thing.
Yep. Again, our second wood live stream. We covered this machine in quite extensive depth, actually. It's the GTA 18V-216. So, although you usually fold it down with all the blade and that sort of within the machine, yeah, really dead easy to set up with the gravity rise stands here again, and perfect working height. Absolutely perfect.
I mean, it's a good site table saw. You could argue it's not necessarily designed for fine cabinetry. Thank you very much. But we found the fence to be extremely accurate for everything we've needed to do. And
I've used this a lot. It's been quite punished over the time that we've had it.
That's right,
We've used it to process an awful lot of materials for some of the events we've been to. So yeah, it gets a fair bit of use, that one. To be honest with you, it's my go-to machine for cutting large materials. Yeah. I mean, whereas you could usually use a track saw with the FSN system, it's just so much easier with something like this if you've got a manageable piece of wood.
That's right. So if you want to see some more information about this, there's plenty of video content on our social media channels, but again, the live stream, I think it was Woodworking Part 2, that's where we went into a lot more detail on this machine. So let's go back to, let's go to one of the walls. Let's go and have a look at some of our jigsaws, Danny.
Yes, no problem. So again, we've got a selection here. Actually, it's a pretty comprehensive selection of both our corded variants of the jigsaws and the cordless versions we have here. So I won't go too much into the corded ones, but you can see here we've got the GST 18VLI-B. This is the, as we discussed earlier in the other room, on the new wall. This is the predecessor to the new 125 machine that's coming out here. So as you can see, actually we still use this one quite a lot. So and we've also got here, we've got the barrel grip version. So you're going to get a 125 version of the barrel grip as well. We haven't received it yet, but it's on the cards very soon. So yeah, fantastic. You've got those two options there. And lastly, not forgetting 12 volt, because it is a very well established power system that we run at the moment. We've got a 12 volt barrel grip as well. Don't do a bow handle in this. I think the trigger would be a devil of a job to grab hold of.
It's very comfortable as a barrel grip.
But really comfortable barrel grip jigsaw there. Really nice to even hold upside down so you can cut material from underneath. So fantastic there. Really popular machine as well. We can't forget the wood champs that we've got underneath here. So we have the 12 volt planer. I think we covered this in one of the live streams as well. I think it was Woodworking Part 1.
Part 1, I think we did jigsaws and we did routers and we did the planers.
So again, this for running down doors or anything like that, fantastic little bit of kit. 2mm in one hit, so quite impressive. If you've got a hardwood, these are great. And we've also got sitting right next to it is a little 12 volt router as well. I use this a lot. I mean, there's pretty much nothing in the workshop here that you're going to bump into and hurt yourself on, because I've rounded everything over. Yeah, really comfortable to hold. The offset design for the spindle there makes it really easy to keep an awful lot of the base flat on the workpiece at any one time. So really stable machine.
Okay, so I'll take over for a little bit. Let's talk about our GOP or our GOP range. These are oscillating or our multi-tools. We've obviously got a range of corded machines that go up in progressive power, from the GOP, there is the 30-28, then the mid-range GOP 4030, and then all the way up to the GOP 5536. That's our top end multi-tool. Now these are all Starlock Max machines, which means that it's something that we created in conjunction with Fine to create a new system, because the old system, the OIS system, which was still a good system, but there were some flaws, and we thought together with Fine we can make some improvements. When it comes to the cordless machines, there's two variations currently, the GOP 12V-28 and the one that I want to show you, which is the GOP 18-28. Now we talked a little bit about our multi-tools, and we did make a hint that there are some new ones coming out, but this one's been in the range since almost the beginning. But it's been such a great machine for us. Now, how Starlock works, it's very simple. We've got the quick release system, which means that we can quite easily pop the accessories on, and then to remove it on certain machines, the majority, it's just a lever, you take it off like that, which is excellent for multi-tools, because all you're wanting to do is change the angles as you go along. You do it just like, don't even have to hold the machine up, you can always just have it on the ground and pop on the accessory like that, nice and quick.
Yeah. The process for the 12 volts is very similar. However, just got the nut on there like we did with the older models. Just for lightness, I think, to be fair. That makes the mechanism at the end a lot lighter. Obviously with the 12-volt machine, you're looking for a light machine. So yeah, works perfectly for this system. And don't forget, we haven't forgotten about the old OIS users who still have the older machines. You can see on there the Starlock blades actually still have the holes there to connect to the older OIS system. So although you can buy into the new Starlock blades, you still don't have to worry about buying a replacement machine to use them. So fantastic for that.
So on the bottom of the machine, if you just zoom in just one last time, you can see this particular one's got a little sticker. This means that this is compatible with both Starlock and the Starlock Plus accessories. We even put it on the little release lever here, so you can quite easily see what the machine is, which is compatible up to. And what we've done with the blades, and I think what we have to do at some point is, I think we want to do in the new year, we want to do a live stream, probably just on Starlock, and all the accessories, because there's so many. But we have made it easy for you by having different kinds of accessories, and we have a different fitment mount. Showing the close up there, you can see these all have 3 different attachment mounts: Starlock, Starlock Plus, and then Starlock Max. So you can't put the wrong accessory on a machine that's not powerful enough to run it, because then you run the risk of damaging your power tool. So yeah, multi-tools. So there's so much we could talk about multi-tools, but I don't think we've got time today. So we'll do a dedicated stream on that, I reckon.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, there's a few items here that we can do dedicated streams on. In fact, going back to the wall here, you'll see here, this is something that we don't usually talk about very often, but we have the FSN OFA, I believe they call it, which is the router attachment for our guide rail system. Now, we've had a few questions in the past regarding the guide rail system, and we'd like to do a dedicated live stream on that at some point. So if there are any questions that you have about specific accessories, because there are so many of them, if you want to put them in the chat to give us an idea how to focus that live stream, that would be fantastic. But as you can see, we've got access to all of the accessories here for the FSN system. Quite happy to talk about that for a live stream. That would be quite an interesting
I think people have said that that'd be very interesting.
Yeah, even so far as going into changing the splinter strips and the anti-skid strips from the other side of them as well.
Absolutely.
So we certainly can do a little piece on that as well. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah. So going down this wall, the next thing we've got in line, we've got our circular saws, or GKSs. We've got our little 12-volt, excellent machine, perfect for cutting single sheet of ply or OSB, and then we're moving up to our big machines. I think we'll start, let's go right down to the bottom for a second. You can see these are our normal 18-volt machines, so the GKS 18V-57G and non-G. When it comes to circular saws, G basically means it's guide rail compatible, so that works with our FSN guide rail system. As we go up one level, you can see these are our biturbo brushless machines. These are the GKS 18V-68 and the 68GC, 68C and the 68GC. This is the flagship version, also guide rail enabled, but it has loads of other features too that makes it a really great step up from the standard biturbo brushless machine. Maximum depth of cut, up 68 millimeters. That's plenty in any material. And then lastly, in the biturbo ranges, we've got our plunge saw. We have a mains version, which I think is the GKT 55, and then we've got this one, which is the GKT 18V-52 GC. There we go, guide rail compatible, of course. We did talk about these machines again in one of our woodworking workshops, live streams. I think it was part 1.
That was part 1, yeah.
Okay, let's keep going down. Let's have a look at some of the sanders, Danny.
Oh, the other thing is you missed out on the 12-volt here.
Oh, yeah?
Don't forget the 12-volt. The interesting part about this is we talked about this on the live stream, but we didn't have any of the adapters. So this adapter here fits straight into the guide plate on here. That allows you to use this little tiny 12-volt circular saw on the guide rail system as well. So there's plenty of different adapters that we can go into and discuss per...
Yeah, we can discuss all the different accessories, being able to, understanding all the different system accessories we have would be probably a really beneficial live stream, without doubt.
Everything from hole cutters to...
Well, you can see here there's plenty of different system accessories we've got on here. It's not just parallel guides, but we've got loads of little different accessories for the multi-tools that we should talk about as well. Depth gauges, dust extraction, there's loads of things that you guys probably don't even know we do for our multi-tools. So I think we could do a system accessories live stream, including the FSNs. Right, so sorry about that, Danny, I didn't want to jump ahead, but let's talk about some sanders, yeah?
Yep, no problem. So if I pop round this side, hang on a second there. So right, we've got the GETs at the top here. These two corded machines here are the turbine models. So basically, these are rotary sanders. At the flick of a switch, a random orbit sander. So multi-use sanders on the top of the top shelf there. Just beneath it, we've got our random orbit sanders. As you see, we've got some corded examples here, and our cordless, our two new cordless models. We've got the 18 volt and the 12 volt there as well. These two are absolute game changers as far as I'm concerned with the sanders. They're so light and they're so well designed, so comfortable to hold. If you get a chance to play around with one, definitely have a go. Yeah, great idea. The shelf beneath it here, we've got the sheet sanders. So we're talking half sheets, third sheets and quarter sheet sanders, as well as changeable delta base plates as well. So it allows you to get used delta sheets, get into those awkward places, maybe between banisters, that sort of thing.
So that's the current one we've had for many years, and now we've obviously replaced it. If you saw one of the live streams, we were teasing a new product that we got, which was the new GSS 18V-13, I believe, which replaces the 10 now.
As you can see, the design has been so popular, we've basically redesigned the entire range.
So they all match the same design aesthetic.
All the same, yeah, comfortable to use.
So this also has the same as the GSS 18V-10, so you can change the base plates, make it into sheet sanders, deltas. Perfect like that. Okay, thank you. So I didn't want to interrupt, but realise this is a new machine that we haven't really talked about much.
Yep. So we've got this wall here. We have pretty much of a mix for this wall, I think, isn't it? We're starting off at the top here with our corded and cordless heat guns. There are other heat guns available, LC one, all with LCD displays and all sorts of things. So we have the corded and the cordless. This one really does heat up very quickly. It's like you're talking about 5, 6, 7 seconds to 300 degrees.
That's two heat settings, I believe, isn't it?
Yes, it's 300 and
500.
500, yes. Moving on from our heat gun range currently, we have our range of gases, but our original cordless gases. So our GAS is standard dust extractor, but we have little 12 volt for cleaning up after yourself, another 18 volt for basically the same thing. This does come with an attachment as well, for the floor attachment, but it's a fairly small effort on that one. We've got, still sticking with our 18 volt range, the very much well established gas 18V-10L. So an L class, again, basically for cleaning up after you've maybe dropped a little dust from something or other, drywall sanding, that sort of thing. So lovely little range there. We also have a blower down here, the GBL 18V-120. It's got quite a lot of power on that. So we tend to use that for cleaning around here sometimes as well.
Before we move on, we obviously want to talk about some of the mains powered dust extractors we've got. We don't want to miss that out, of course. These are obviously situated with the MITRE saws, perfect place for them, to be honest, because that's a messy application. And we've got, in the examples here, we've got our GAS 35s. These are all 35s because of the size of the bucket. And we're going along, we've got the Ls, the Ms and the H class. So that many of you guys are probably aware that depending on what materials you're working with, there's obviously a different regulation depending on which dictates what kind of filter class you need. Obviously you can imagine most of the time in this country you're probably starting to work with M and H class dust extractors. But you can see these are all 35s. These ones have both got the automatic filter cleaning, but we also do a GAS 55, a much bigger bucket if you really need the capacity, as opposed to the 35 here. So you've got a good choice of mains powered dust extractors. Let's move over, let's go back to the walls. Let's talk about the nailers, Dan.
Yeah, we've got the nailers down the bottom here. So this is the new second fix nailer that we've had come out very recently. 16 gauge nails, nice 20-degree canted back cartridge feed here. Really comfortable to use, quite lightweight for given its power. Maximum of 64mm fixings here, so really quite an impressive second fix nailer.
Yeah, definitely. Single fire and bump fire, and a good speed, good speed bump fire.
Yes, yeah, dry fire lockout, meaning you can't shoot a nail on top of another nail without releasing the trigger. So yeah, it's great there. I've also got a cutaway version here, which you probably haven't seen yet. We will talk about this at a later date when it comes to maintenance of machines. I think it would be ideal to do something on that. But as you can see here, I've removed the top from this one, so you can see the striker mechanism inside there. And you can see quite simply how easy it is to replace consumable bits like these return elastomers here. And actually the striker pin all comes out in one single movement. So there's a little pin there and a little pin there. You pull them out and the whole cartridge comes out. So it's simply a matter of basically all of your wear and tear items right there in a package. So pop that out, pop a fresh one in, away you go.
Yeah, it's been really good to have a nailer back in the range.
Yes.
And I think we've already hinted that there are going to be a number of other nailers that we're going to be adding to the range, so it's not just going to stop with a second fixed nailer. We want to have a good range of nailers out in the market, predominantly 18-volt system. We want to expand that.
Definitely.
Right.
We also do a corking gun as well, mastic gun, sealant gun, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, really handy to use that nice even flow as well from that machine. And just below it there, we have the power packs. Basically, these sit on top of your 18-volt or 12-volt battery. So, as a basic indication, they've got a USB output there. We've got 2 USB outputs on the 18-volt, and in addition, this socket just here powers up our range of heated workwear. Now, you want to cover a live stream on this at some point in the future, because obviously it's getting a bit chilly out there.
That's right.
It'd be the perfect opportunity to do that. So we'll do that hopefully before the end of the year.
I think we'll do a Christmas special just on heated workwear.
So. That might be a good idea. But yeah, again, these are fantastic. Even if you just want to charge your phone, it's all there.
Right, so moving on, let's go to some of well, a lot of you guys have been asking for these for many years. These are our radios, and more importantly, these are the 2 relatively new ones, the DAB series. So what you've got is you've got the smaller of the 2, and then if this one is running, I think it's 15 watts, isn't it? 15 watts, DAB, Bluetooth, and it's got the auxiliary and plug and USB as normal. And then we go up to the big one, which is the one that's virtually indestructible. Yeah,
we've thrown that around quite a lot testing that one. So.
Yeah, it's got the usual battery bay on the back, so they're both running on the 18-volt system. Besides here, you can obviously run it by mains, and then you can have 2 outputs, both running 230-volt output.
Yeah, so it basically runs as an extension lead as well.
Yeah, exactly.
It's important to note on these machines, they don't charge the batteries. Our old machines that we had used to charge the batteries when you put them in the machine and plugged it into the wall. However, these ones don't. The main reason for that is because these are fitted with DAB. The interference from the charging circuit built within the machine would play merry hell with the signal.
Exactly, yeah.
So you probably wouldn't get anything out of the DAB radio. So what we've got is you've got to do 2 sockets on there. Theoretically, you can plug in 2 6-bay chargers, charge 12 batteries, but you'd be doing it a further distance away from the machine, so you'll negate that problem with frequency.
Yeah. So these are GPBs. This one is the 2 SC, and then we've got the 5 SC, the bigger one. And the reason why I like the big one, to be honest, not only is the fact that it's got the cage that makes it virtually indestructible, but many people forget it's got a meaty subwoofer on it as well.
Yeah.
So if you like your tunes on site, then this is the one I'd always recommend.
Not overly heavy as well, quite nice, easy to carry around.
I usually knock this off the table just to prove how hard it is every now and then.
Yeah.
So let's keep moving on. We're nearly done. I don't know what time it is. I always check my watch and work out how close to 5 o'clock we are. But the next thing we've got is only some. We've got the remainder of our drill drivers. Remember how I said next door we had our combis, our GSBs. In the wood rooms we've got our drills and fixings here, fixing machines. So these are GSRs. And what we've done is also, like we did with the combis, is now we've got a complete range of brushless combis from the GSR 18V-45 all the way up to, it's not on the wall because I was drilling an auger bit with it a minute ago, all the way up to our BITURBO brushless machine, the GSR 18V-150C. So that's, we've got an entire range of drill drivers if you don't want a combi or a combination impact mechanism. We talked next door about the fact that we also have our impact drivers or impact wrenches. Obviously we have our impact drivers here because this is going to be for your screw driving applications because it's got just a 1/4 inch internal hex. But we also keep a GDS in here because if you're running coach bolts, for example, you might be wanting to use sockets. If you're doing both, as I said next door, then we've got the GDX. As you can see, does both. So this one is the one I didn't show next door, but this is the GDX 18V-210C. This is now the brand new impact driver wrench with the AB torque selector, speed controller. It's a very smart bit of technology. So this uses the smart app.
I think we covered this in Wood 1 as well. There was a...
I think we covered that in the dedicated impact driver one.
There was, yes, there was a dedicated live stream for that. Yeah, we covered the connectivity in depth there, so it's well worth, if you haven't seen that one, take a look because it's it's quite impressive, that one.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, we go into depth because some people think it's a complicated function. It's not. It's really, really simple to make the changes.
Even if you've already purchased one and you haven't used it yet, then it's a fantastic opportunity to pick up the basics of it and play around with it, see how you go on.
Right, here's one that we've been showing at many events this year because it's good to be out of COVID. It's our little Bosch Go. Right, this is a 3.6 volt screwdriver. It's up to 5 Newton meters of torque and also drive up to 5mm screws. If I'm being honest, I can get more out of it.
I think we've put hex drill bits in there as well, and it's really quite a powerful little machine.
1/4 inch internal hex, normal for your screwdriver bits, and you've got a little toggle here that allows you to move backwards and forwards, but it's a push drive. So when you push it into application, it automatically activates the motor. If you want to do it manually, then there's just a button here. That'll do the same thing for you. Yeah. And more importantly, it's got a little torque setting here as well, so you can make sure you set the depth.
Precision clutch on that as well.
Yes, it is. Yes, internal charger, little USB, micro USB there. This is a great. I mean, honestly, it's coming up to Christmas. This is a stocking filler.
Yeah.
All right. So, if your significant other is a tradie and you're watching this on their behalf, Bosch Go, good, cracking deal.
Comes with a full set of bits with it as well, so it's a good all-rounder kit for someone starting out. Really. Yeah,
exactly. Comes in
a mini L box.
Little lunch L box. You see, some little accessory set, and your charger underneath it. So, yeah, exactly. A nice little self-contained package. Yeah. I know we're trainers. We're not really sales guys. We're not trying to do hard sales ever. But I think everyone in the office has one of these now because everyone. Why wouldn't you? Now, I think we're getting to the end, but we don't want to stop. We want to do a little bit more. We want to talk about. Finally, we just want to talk about our FLEXI click system.
Yes.
We have not done a stream on that yet, have we?
No, we haven't. I think did we touch on it with the COMBI one, or
maybe we did. I can't remember. We've done too many. So let me hand you that one for a second.
Yep.
What we got is the ability to remove the chuck. So this is a GSR 12V-35FC?
35FC, this one, yeah.
Right.
So as you can see, the chuck on the end comes with a 13mm chuck. Pop that straight off of there, so you can use a 1/4 inch drive bit in there as well. I've done this quite a few times where I've had a few of these different attachments and put a different socket in each one. So it's actually quicker to change the attachment sometimes than it is to change the drill bit. So I've had 2 chucks set up with different drill bits. Again, we've got another attachment here that dead easy to fit. So we've got an off-center driver part here. The interesting part about these is if you pull them out, you can twist them around to the position you want. So in actual fact, you don't have to take it off and reposition it. It's dead easy just to turn it around and get it exactly where you want to. So this allows you to drive screws in close up to a flat material like that. So kitchen fitters, cabinet makers, anything like that, fantastic little piece of kit there. And the other thing we've got here is, we've got to juggle them around. So this one pops on here, so you've got a right angle as well. We quite often show this by putting all of the attachments on it at the same time, but yeah, I don't know what you'd actually use that for.
Well, just you can do that. If you want, you can put the chuck on, or you could put the 1/4 inch.
Yes, there's a 1/4 inch drive head like this as well, which you can pop straight on there, and that's got the lock-on fitting for the 1/4 inch spits, same as the offset one does have there. So yeah.
So we've actually got two machines. Sorry there, Danny. Yeah. So we've actually got 2 machines within the FLEXI click range. We've got the 15 and the 35. The 35 being brushless, so you get more power and more torque, as well as it being more efficient. So you've got the choice. So and the FLEXI click heads are interchangeable between those 2 machines. If you want more power, then you can step up to the 18 volt FLEXI click, and here's an example of one. This is the GSR 18V-60 FC. We've actually got a 90 coming out.
Yeah.
I think we teased about that in one of our combis and drill driver live streams as well. But you can see here, it's a similar mechanism. It's a bit more robust to the 12 volt because obviously there's a bit more power. But all it does is take the chuck off the front there, and then you've got your wide range of different fitments, different kinds of accessories you can pop on here. I'll put the offset one on just to prove a point. Okay, pull it out, then you can make your adjustments for your accessories for when you're doing your fitments up against the walls and stuff. Now, one difference that we have currently, although things will change very shortly, is we have the ability to add this attachment. So this is actually an STS Plus attachment, which makes your little drill driver, your little FLEXI click drill driver, into a nice agile little STS Plus hammer. I believe, off the top of my head, I think this outputs around 1 joule, or maybe a little bit more than 1 joule, more than enough for your average raw plug fixings in concrete and masonry and stone.
Yeah, it's important to mention with that particular attachment that although all the other attachments are available in the kit together, the SDS Plus attachments always has to be purchased separately. It's not included in any of the FLEXI click kits that we do. That's right. So yeah, some may say a drawback, but in actual fact, it's if you don't need it, some people just don't want to be paying for it.
Correct.
If you want it, it's there for you to purchase as an accessory. But really useful bit of kit.
Exactly. I think we could do a specialist. Well, I think what we could do is we could do a little featurette just on the FLEXI click system. Because every time we showed people the FLEXI click, both 12 volt and 18 volt at shows, they've always been surprised that it even exists. So we need to do a better job making sure that people are aware tools like that exist. So I don't know what time it is. I'm sure we're getting roughly to our hour. We always like to run over. So I think, what do you reckon, Dan? You think we've done it all?
I think we've pretty much covered the majority of it, haven't we?
Yeah, okay. So thank you very much for joining us on the stream. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's been very different. Maybe next time we'll go back to our regular programming. We'll go back to looking at some range stuff. I believe the next one we're going to do is going to be measuring tools.
I think we're going to start the measuring tools one, really. Maybe laser measures.
Yeah, I think we'll start with laser measures.
Place to start. Top shelf in the cabinet next door. So.
Of course. So any questions that the team haven't answered in the chat, Danny and I will have a look and get back to you in the comments. Remember to like and subscribe, and also keep an eye out for any updates on our social media platforms. That's our Instagram and our YouTube, as well as Facebook. Thank you from myself.
And for myself as well. Yeah, fantastic.
Have a lovely evening. Bye-bye.